Test. There we go. It takes a moment to come through. Hey folks, how's it going? It is Wednesday. We're doing some game dev related stuff today. Working on a bit of Unity, maybe a bit of Blender. See how it goes. But hope you all had a good week so far. My week's been pretty decent. Switch over to the main screen, see what we're looking at. So we do have Unity on the go. But yeah, a pretty decent week. So let's see how the rest of the week goes. Alright, so what we were working on last week was the code for this building falling down. Now, did we have it here? It's collapsing. Probably want to have that quite small. Let's change that to 1, sync rate to 1. We could do with having a pop building true. So how does it consider it? It is. We need basically a quick win condition. So if pop building is true, collapsing is true. So we just want to be able to basically just pop the building. Can we put that as a UI? Save that. Red coat. Hey Jeffrey, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Doing good. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Let's go to the keyboard controls, maybe? Maybe that. Happy to be living this side of the big pond. Yes, indeed. Hopefully we aren't affected so much over here. I know it's has a knock-on effect. Generally through business and diplomacy and all this. It's probably what a lot of people don't realise is that other countries are affected by it, unfortunately, because decisions can be made that affect people internationally. Sort of e-commerce, industry, people's opinion. No doubt there'll be people living in Britain and in Europe that kind of agree with certain things, and they feel they have a voice to then behave a certain way now. Affected, yes, but still not living there in Centreville under his direct rule. Yes, that's something indeed, it is. There is that. Keyboard controls, keyboard controls, keyboard controls. Can I choose a key? Input magnitudes, countdown. Yeah, it's only really launch. On launch input, on move input. Open input settings. Unfortunately, it's not coming through on the stream, but I'm looking at settings from what you can press to get things to happen. Input manager. Okay. Fire free. So if what do I want to do? Maybe P. Evening, Hug Junkie. Hey, Max. How's it going, dude? Good to see you. I've been having a good week so far. Don't want it to be a joystick. Got horizontal. Do we have fire? Launch. Key or mouse button. Can't remember how I set this up now. Name is launch. So we'll go for the UI. It'll be easy to put it on the UI. We need to do stuff on the UI anyway. Canvas. Let's go. What's it could be under? I feel so out of practice with this now. So I think most of today's stream, if not all of it, is going to be on Unity. So I need to kind of go back up to speed on what I'm doing. Launch button. If I copy the launch button, duplicate. So here is the controls. Realise we haven't set a time set off to Chile on Saturday. It's just going to be you and I, as Dad isn't well, so we don't need to go. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy driving the whole way. Not a problem. Whenever you want to set off, Max, I'm good to go with your time. So whenever you want me to come over, sort of, I can come over for that. Hopefully not too early. But I'm good to go probably anywhere from probably 9 o'clock. It's probably the earliest I'll go. Unless you need to be there particularly early. But entirely up to you. I'm good to go with whatever you need. It's crazy to think that this is the UI. Because this is main resolution. I'm not sure there's any other way to do this or better ways, but that is the full screen. And that's the game down there in the tiny corner. So if I move this button up here, we'll rename that as brackets debug win. And we shall change what the text is to the same thing. Debug win. And what is it going to be? It is going to be not the move. Castle. Yes, castle. So it's be castle. Let's make it a standard. So there's another one here. So public void building. Let's call it destroy building. Destroy destroy building. And that's going to be as pop building true. Shop opens at 11, takes 1 hour 28 minutes, so 9 would be good. Cool. I shall pop over for 9 then. So it gives you sort of opportunity to get bits together. Probably pop to the shop before leaving Stratford, and then yeah, it'll be all good. And obviously get there in time to park up and whatnot. So destroy building. So castle, destroy building. Let's save everything. It's not the rock, it is the castle. So we drag castle holder in there. That one. Castle. I've done it again. Right. Castle holder. Click and drag into there. Choose function from castle, and it is destroy building. There it is. So clicking debug win will destroy the building. Let's move ourselves back down here. Looking forward to it. It's going to be fun ripping 51 packs from the new Surging Spark set. Wow. Yeah. Right. Okay. So hopefully this means I can just win by clicking this button. Yay, there we go. What's up? Hey Lisa, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Go play again. Interesting. The house has moved. Strange. Yeah, all those cool emotes. Why did the house move? It's supposed to be here. Definitely a bug there, but I'm glad to see no matter where it is, it still functions So even though it's sunk and it's actually further away, it still functions as I intended. But it shouldn't be over there. So what happened there then? So let's go back here. So pop building true. So where does that naturally come in? Gonna get a little surprised while we're down now. Okay. That's very kind of you. Don't have to go too crazy. Finished my first school semester, quarter of the year. Don't know if semester is the correct word. Yeah. Term, maybe. We have terms, semesters. Got rest of the week off, so that's good. Awesome. Got anything fun or exciting planned for your week off? You just gotta kind of relax and re-energize from all your hard work. So reset all squares, pop building true. Count squares. Where is the pop building normally? So we've got 3 references to pop building. All hit. Ask on the score. Yes, getting some rest. Awesome. It's important to get rest. So C, what is C? C is castle holder. Get castle. Get component castle. Castle holder. Castle holder is dropped into score. Okay. I've been watching Malcolm in the Middle all day. Nice. Malcolm in the Middle is quite fun. So all this is doing I don't know why it's moved. Maybe score. Maybe score's got the wrong thing in there then. Maybe. So let's look at score holder. So score holder's got castle holder. And castle holder is the entire thing, so that's fine. I think. Okay, component castle. Get component castle. Get component castle. Component castle is not that castle. It is that castle. So it's pulling this script, which is fine. That's fine. It's doing that. It's grabbing the script. So that's what C is. So win is true. So if not win, says win true. Smoke. So am I looking at the wrong thing then? Castle 4. Castle 4 is a check win. Check win is there. So all hit. Castle 4 all hit, play again, set active. So it seems to set it active. which is fine. So let's go back to castle over here. Let's bring this next to control, because they put next to score, sorry. Position vector 0, okay. So it's not 0. So I could do with probably getting where castle empty is on the start, and then resetting it back to the where that is. So it doesn't matter where I put it then. So let's make a private. So private vector 3. Did you know the actor who plays the father, Bryan Cranston in Malcolm Mill, is also Walter White in Breaking Bad? Yes, indeed, yeah. It's quite a contrast in characters. That's yeah, Bryan Cranston can play Malcolm Middle's father and Walter White too. One that's kind of like a little bit spaced in the head versus someone who's very, very much focused. Playing Sims 4 and drawing, nice. I really liked that new character you popped in the Discord, and the environment as well. The bench, detail on the bench, and you've really, really coming along strong on your drawing skills. Certainly got a skill for it now. Was distracted by Malcolm in the Middle. Easily done. Vector 3, let's call this castle default location. Right, gonna head off now, buddy. I'll see you on Saturday 9 AM. Yes, indeed. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week, Max. Won't be live on Friday, but I'll be seeing you sharp at 9 AM. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you then. Yes, I knew the main reason I cannot watch Breaking Bad, since I cannot see him in any other way than comedic. Yeah, it's hard, but when you have an actor who plays an iconic character in one way, seeing them in something else becomes very hard, because that actor fully becomes that character. So you go, well, that is just Malcolm's father, but not Walter White. But there are some actors that, with the way they play the character, you can easily forget they are other characters and other things. So they're that diverse. Like, I suppose, like Walter White in Breaking Bad, sort of the way he carries himself is different to Malcolm's father. It's obviously still, you can still see it's the same actor, but sort of not having hair in one, hair in the other, and kind of visually how he kind of behaves does make it easy to forget. But it depends how much Malcolm in the Middle you watched, that if he kind of solidifies that is the character. Which is brings to mind like actors like what was his name now? Rowan Atkinson, who played Mr. Bean. Like, he's played a number of different comedic characters, but the way he plays Mr. Bean, you can easily forget he's ever played. Like, the same actor that does Mr. Bean is not the same actor that does all the other roles, because he's made Mr. Bean so unique and unlike him that you forget that's Rowan Atkinson. He was one of his most iconic roles. That and he's good in other things, very good. Mainly because Mr. Bean doesn't talk, which helps as well. Kind of his facial expressions, the sounds he makes rather than talking, sets aside that character that is uniquely just that character and not Rowan Atkinson playing him. It becomes a life in itself, I suppose. It's not a character being played by an actor, it is just a character existing. It takes on a life of its own. Mr. Bean not talking was intentional to make it more accessible for international audiences, yeah. And it worked very well. Like, across the world, people know Mr. Bean. And they can identify with the character and go, well, he's funny. All the comedy is not based in language, but kind of like his behaviour and how he reacts to things. And to a certain extent, there's not a lot of talking in those episodes. There's a bit of talking here and there, but even when he interacts with other people, they don't necessarily talk to him. So it's a very accessible show. Very clever. So you see some of the old black and white comedies before they brought sound in. They just had music, like silent movies. And you still understand the context of what's going on. Obviously, sometimes with cue cards coming up and they explain, well, he goes to the shop. And then you just see the guy walking to the shop and stuff. Just say, well, that's not something you'd pick up from the silent movie itself. You need a little card just to say, well, this is what is happening. But then the situation, like sort of, like counting on the hand, for instance, he's counting money out. Oh no, he has not enough money. And that kind of easily translates without having to say a word and works across multiple cultures and languages. And yeah, Mr. Bean really worked well on that. Twitch keeps resetting who I'm gonna watch. App really sucks. Oh, yeah, Twitch app in especially is yeah, I'm not too keen on it still. Oh, I had a quick it just keeps redirecting me after a couple of minutes. Oh, it's doing that thing, I'm guessing, where it's like sort of trying to link you to content you might enjoy rather than giving you stuff that you do want to enjoy while you're enjoying it. Yeah, I looked into the co-stream, or I forgot what they call it, but you know the thing that Twitch allows two streamers to kind of stream together. I had a quick look into that earlier, and yeah, it does combine the chats. So, for instance, you can have up to 5 people, I think, 5 people like streaming together, and it will combine all the chats into one chat, and will give you a URL, like a web link, to every streamer that you're streaming with, just their video, and you can then put that into your own OBS. So you can have, like, rather than just this box for my face, I could have a box above, a box below of the other people, and it will just look like we're all streaming from one studio. The only thing is it's trying to take away from Discord, so it will allow you to talk through the app rather than talking through Discord. So the video and the sound stays together. So Twitch is basically trying to eliminate people talking through Discord with each other and sharing the video that way, which I can understand makes life a bit easier in some ways, rather than trying to work out Discord volumes and syncing up the videos with the sound and making sure you're capturing the right video. But then it's only works if everyone you're talking to is streaming. So it has its fors and against. So I can see it being interesting if you've got a group of people that are all streaming on Twitch and you want to all connect their videos and chats together. But it doesn't work if you have people that aren't streaming or streaming on Twitch. Nix doesn't stream on Twitch, no. Exactly. Ain't no option for us, yeah. It's cool idea for those, like a group of Twitch streamers up to 5 people can, if they're all playing like a squad maybe, I'm guessing. So if you're on Call of Duty and you've got the 5 of you in a team maybe, then that all works. But it's not to, like, doing it through Discord might be easier if you know how to do it. But they kind of saying that not everyone knows how to use Discord fully, or it's a bit tricky. So we're doing all the work for you. Use our feature. But yeah, the thing it does work with is because like OBS, if the OBS is using the webcam, nothing else can use this webcam. So it gets around that, so you can't have a webcam in Discord using the same one. Unless you put it through like a webcam splitter. Which then you might get like delay and the sound will be off. But yeah, it's something you'd have to really think about if you want to do it in the future. Or you'd not use the webcam on OBS, you'd have the webcam on Discord, and then OBS will capture your video from Discord, which is probably how you would do it. So you're not using the camera on your stream, you're using it on Discord, and the stream is streaming Discord. So yeah, I can see it looking more complicated doing it that way. But that's only if you're having everyone connected that way. As it is, it works. We work fine without it. Let's go private void. Store castle default location. Didn't hit the button. Why is that not working? Oh, for some reason that didn't want to work. So that's going to be castle empty. So castle empty dot transform dot local position. Or just position. Probably just position. Cool. So that stores that. So what we want to do is on start, isn't it? Is it public? I suppose it would be public, wouldn't it? Void. Public void? Private void. It could be a private void. It doesn't need to be accessed anywhere else. So private void start. So on start, we'll grab the castle location. And that means when we come down here, rather than vector 0, we are then pushing that back into there. Make it make it read only. Yeah, I suppose that would work. Yeah, because we're not changing that. So that's where it gets to. Probably want to change the rate. Let's put a read only up here again. So private read only float. Is it full rate? What's the rate? Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate value equals 0.1 f. Means we can change it up here rather than having to find it in the code. It's a minus as well. Let's make that 0.05. Save that. Let it recompile back into run the game. Debug win. See, that still disappeared way too quickly. Probably need. Can I step it? I'm not sure I can step it. So if we play again, does it play back where it should be? Did that start syncing? I felt like it started syncing. It didn't. It might have done. It might have started syncing. Yeah, it looks like it sank slightly, which is interesting. But yeah, it still seems to be disappearing instantly, which is a bit weird. Maybe I got something not the right way round. Castle empty, so active. So if pop is true, so need to take this out of here and drop it just there. So after let's do that. Because it's going to disappear regardless, which is not the point. I want it to sync and then disappear. So debug win. Right, only sank slowly, which is weird. Okay, so it's collapsing true. So maybe again I'm running the wrong bit of code. So it is the score part that does all the fancy bits, which I don't know why it kicks off like that anyway. Castle Fall. So I want to really run Castle Fall, to be honest. So that's going to be the score rather than the actual castle. If all hit, which I'll manually set to true. If it's not win, because it won't be win, then reset all squares, smoke, full counter. How's Damien today? He's doing good. He's he's been very very clingy the past few days. Like last week he insisted on sleeping on my bed during the stream. And today, as soon as I came home from work, he ran into the hallway and kind of sort of carried on meowing at me until I gave him lots of fuss. And then he wanted me to let him into the back garden, which we don't do when it's dark. And obviously it's dark a lot earlier now. Partially because we don't know what goes out into the garden at night, and secondly, we don't have to go and find him in the dark. So he was not happy about that, but he's very good. But he likes to, he still likes to sleep a lot. Did take a photo of him the other day. Let's find the photo of him. I'll post it into my Discord because I haven't posted it yet. Yeah, so the last picture I posted was him sleeping on my bed during the stream. Oh, here's a cute one. So this is one I've popped up from 11 years ago. There is the this was yesterday. Yeah. Cool. Post some pictures into my cats and dogs room on my Discord. Yes, that's that blue thing that he's sleeping under in that second lot of pictures is actually supposed to be like a dish towel. You put dishes on to dry. But cats seem to really like them. Maybe because they're quite warm and comfortable. Very soft. So we decided it is now his personal blanket. Public void debug win, and we just go castle fall true. So we don't need to check the wind. Cool, so save that. Rather than destroy building, true. Let's go to debug win. Rather than the castle holder, it says score. Score holder. Score and debug win. Let's give that a save. Right, so debug win. Smoke. It doesn't disappear. Does it override itself? Is that the problem? So star smokes, full counter 300. So where's full counter used? Okay, fixed update. Keeps minus until fall equals true. Ah, so I already started doing it here rather than in castle. What is the plan for today? Also, is it me or the emote stuck on the screen? I think the emotes are stuck on the screen. Let's give that a refresh. Okay, so the emotes should be refreshed. Plan today is to get this castle falling. But what I've done, I've realised I've already put a counter in place here. So I should probably really put it in here if the score's going to handle it, or because this is the object itself, it's easier to work with it. We've got castle empty. Castle empties in castle. It's kind of self-referencing. Now the full counter, I think. So where's full now used? Okay, so the full now is used to actually make the building disappear. So that's fine. That stays where it is. That's okay. So that's going round and round. It won't actually trigger the pop building until it's done the smoke. So what I wanted to do is actually pop. It's probably not necessarily pop building. I suppose I could. So where's pop building? Pop building's there. So start smoke. So what's CS? Where's CS used? Oh, castle smoke. So start a castle smoke, that carries on. So maybe we want another function that just does the collapsing part. And then pop building just pops the building. So let's put a so public void castle is collapsing. And just put that into there. So we can take it out of here. So if it is pop, kind of negates this whole thing, really, isn't it? So pop building. So it's collapsing as false, and then you want to pop the building. So effectively you can pull this back out of here, put it there, delete that, so if not pop, and move that. Okay, so it's not, basically we're unpopping it, set the castle back to where it is, then unpop. If not, just pop the building. That means collapsing is false. and then we just want to pop the building. So pop building true. We just go destroy building. So if for now, so for counter, for now is there. So if win, we then want to set the full counter C dot castle is collapsing. And we don't want it to pop the building there. So it just sets the smoke on the counter. For now true, for now true. It's not the cleanest. We can certainly do better than that, but let's have a look how that looks. Okay, so that needs to fall a bit quicker. So maybe the original values were fine. Let's go back up to the top here. So rather than that, let's go to probably 0.1. Castle empty. So what is castle empty in this case? Castle empty is castle, which is that. But that's probably ultimate. So it's probably more local position. Local position. And then we do local here as well. So what is translate? Moves the transform by x along the x-axis, y along the y, z along the z. Okay, so it's moving it by that much. Transform. Still drawing mostly like that's all good. Yeah, it's got to remain absolute position. Which is unfortunate because local position would be far better. But that means I wonder if I can pull it at this point. Make that public. Well, actually, no, serialize that. Serialize it so I can see it. I can actually see where it starts. Right, okay. So its default location, as we can see over here, is 2.83 by 4.69, nice, by 9.8, 689,004. So we need to be probably taking it from that. Let's go back to the code. So Castle Low really really needs to be that position minus how far I want it to move down. So let's put another private float. So this one isn't a read only, and call this Castle final Y, and put that equals 0.0 F. And we can set it here. Our final Y equals Castle default location dot Y minus Castle Low. And then rather than Castle Low, set it as Castle Final Y. Behavior's missing. Oh, we've got some errors. Doesn't tell me what Unity South. Not quite sure what that's about. That's kind of doing what we want to do now. We need to be a bit quicker. So that just looks like it's sinking into the mud as opposed to crumbling. Cannot be now. Let's move 3. Okay. I'm not sure what that error is about, because it's not errored this time. Let's go back to that. Let's actually set it as 0.5. Yeah, probably a little bit quicker. Made that 0.7. Probably a little bit quicker then. Let's go point. Go 1 point north. Don't want to go too quick. We do definitely want it to go. Let's make that 4, so it goes down a little bit lower. So rather it kind of like sink below. Basically, I want it to sink below the smoke and disappear behind the smoke. So when the smoke clears, it's like, oh, the building has crumbled. So smoke is rising. Yeah, probably needs to go a little bit lower. Let's make that a 2. Probably needs to be higher then. I got the calculation wrong. Where is it? It's up here, isn't it? So there's a current default. Okay, so this is by how much it's going now. So rather than it being its final destination, which is what that one is. So we wanted to sync by so much. My Twitch is very unstable. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Hopefully it sorts itself out. Maybe Twitch in itself is having problems. Ooh. Just a little bit more. Let's go 6. No, let's go 7 actually. Ooh. That's pretty much the effect I'm after. The only thing is, it's not coming up with play again. So maybe missing something. So let's try and make sure we've not broken anything. Let's play it through normally. Oh, that's a good one. Got a few on the line there. Cool, there we go. Maybe have the smoke last a little bit longer? I don't know. I don't want it to... I think that timing's good. Maybe I need to make it go a bit lower. Make it down by 8. And then test it replaying the level again. Give that a save. I'm pretty confident with that now. And then if I'm happy with this, could look at procedurally dumping a load of bricks in a pile, which will then kind of represents the remains of the building. And once I've done that, I can go to Blender and make a little arm and hand waving a white flag. And that would be the win animation complete then. I do need to rewrite the script for allowing the player to change the projectile type, and then obviously add more projectile types in there. Probably look at making it easier to add projectiles. For me, that is. I love that, the fact the cracks sync with the building now. So maybe it doesn't... I don't want it to reset the cracks before it starts falling. I want it to still have the cracks, and then reset the cracks when you play again. But I think it's working there. So a little bit of tweaking. So cracks don't reset until after you hit play again. I like the pumpkin being thrown. Yeah, I thought, well, spent a bit of time on the previous stream making the pumpkin, so we'll use it in this. The unfortunate thing is the pumpkin isn't on the projectile list. Be right back, Aussie. Food time, okie dokie. The dark floof requires the food. But yeah, I want to kind of change the coding so it will make my life easier, just to like add projectiles in without having to be too specific. Most of this game I want to try and make my life easier with it. If I can find ways of just getting the code to do the work for me, then I know if I want to do anything like that in the future, I've already got examples I can use. A lot of kind of programming either in like day-to-day databases or video games, you build something that's universal, something that isn't too specific, because you can then use it again for something very similar. You make it too specific, you're having to write that and then write something that's very similar to it but different, and you end up doubling your work. That's perfect. So I just need to replace, so the area that the castle was, have a pile of bricks. So that'll be the next stage. But before then, I want to change how the cracks get reset. So the cracks are reset via the score code. Play again, set active, no. Squares, squares. That's getting the counts. No, it's got to be in castle then. Reset castle hits, count squares, count square hits. Reset all squares, okay. So that goes through all the squares and then sets them, resets the squares. So where is that used? That's in score, okay, reset all squares. So that, I don't want it to actually do until for now has finished. So once for now is finished, it's probably too much, because what's the counter? So set counter 300. No, it could be. Need some kind of indicator. Let's serialize the full counter so we can actually see it. See what the number is. And score holder there. Full counter is 0. Okay, so we've got a couple of hits on there. So I think the full counter's fine, but it's not stopping the counter. 4 now is true. So 4 now is true. So win update score. So it's a bit of a weird way of doing that anyway. So if it is a win, then keep looping that. So we only really want to count it down until. So if full counter is greater than 0, decrease full counter. Now if it's less than or equal to 0, set full now as true. Reset score win is false. So that doesn't stop it from continuously reducing that number. Let's save that. I did. So I think, save this as well. I think that bit's okay then. Let's have a quick drink. Now is there an easy way to deal with this? I suppose I could make a box like I have here and place it over the building, which is what I was going to do initially with this type of box. I'm just going to draw the box over it. And then that box itself will then just generate a load of rubble. So I could try and make another box into this and have it so the higher concentration is in the center, because you'd have a pile, wouldn't you? You would collapse in, so most of the bricks would be in the center, scattering outwards. So how would you do that? So you want it to be fairly random. You don't want to spawn it all in the center, because you could, the physics could freak out a little bit and just send bricks flying everywhere as they fall on top of each other and just kind of bounce away. So almost like a closing circle, I suppose. So the spawn size starts at the entire floor space, and then that shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, and you effectively build a pyramid. So for every, so it'd be spawn randomly within that area, shrink it, spawn randomly in that area, shrink it, and then you should get a stack of bricks. Hopefully not too uniform though. That's gonna be the only thing. I'd have to, because if they fall, they're gonna lay flat, which you expect for bricks to lay flat anyway. But if they're random, then they would, yeah, as long as they're randomly distributed. And if I randomly adjust the direction they're facing, that means if another brick falls on top, it's going to fall at an angle. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. This time, just going to have a quick 2-minute break, stretch my legs while I'm thinking about this, and I'll come back and we'll try and make a rubble generator. So be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with you. We are back. Thank you for hanging around, folks. Just need to stretch my legs, grab a quick snack. Right, so this generator cube, the spawner, we're going to make another version of this. So what is this? This is, we'll just call cube. Of course it is. Got the castle crumble script. And it takes a brick holder. So returns the Z's. Okay, so that's just pulling the X, the Y and the Z from the brick itself. Castle smoke I'm fine with. Do I even need to be assigned? If I were to do that and delete that bit. So count Z and count Y isn't even used. So we'll comment these two out. We'll keep them in there because useful to have. They'd say they weren't used, but clearly they are. Oh, it's got signed a value but never used. Okay. Yeah, we're pulling those values, but they're never actually used anywhere else. Okay. So we'll comment those. And we'll comment these. That should clean up the code there. So that was a spillover from the generator actually. The spawner. We don't need the holder values, we're fine with those. Tree axe. Yeah, we can probably do a better thing for wobbling the tree, but for the moment, don't need that. So what we do need, make sure that's all saved. It is the Castle Crumble script. So let's go back to project. Castle Smoke, Castle Crumble. Yeah, so this is where the counts be used. So this is a lot of fun bits to actually generate a wall though. So it's the offsetting, so generates the bricks at half distance from where they were before. And generate bricks goes called there, so it gets dimensions, gets the corners, and then boom, bricks. So what I'll probably do then is make a new script and call it rubble generator maybe. So I can keep this script as it is. I don't want to start messing around with that script because I'm quite happy with that. It's not clean necessarily. Could be better, but it's something I can come back to and certainly reference in a future project if I need to. So let's go create C# script and she'll call it rubble generator. Let's open that script. The rubble generator. Now we're going to want get dimensions and get corners. So we'll pull these in. Drop it in there. Of course, not going to be happy because we haven't got any of the variables. Pull those variables in. It's back. Welcome back. How is Ozzy? Ozzy enjoyed his food. Nice. Yeah, I left. He's a happy boy. Glad to hear. I left my room to have a quick snack and a stretch of my legs, and instantly had a Damien sort of meowing at me. And he followed me downstairs. Now he's sat on my father's lap. Nice. Yeah, I think especially at the moment it's cold. So anytime it's cold, he kind of demands someone makes him warm. So whether that's cover him in a blanket or sit down somewhere or put him on a bed. Okay, so this rumble generator, we can get dimensions and get corners. So we'll copy that in as it is. So we'll pull the values in. So if we've got dimensions, it will tell us how wide brick holder values. So this will tell us how tall, deep and wide the box is for the generator. Also finds out the size of the brick, so whatever we're using for the brick, it'll just find out those values here. Should really label this here, so let's do that here. So let's get the brick holder object. Recording width and height of grid panel. It's supposed to be width, height and depth. Of width, height and depth. Depth of brick. And same with this. But that's not recording the so that is actually calculating rather than recording. Calculating how many bricks calculating the width, height and depth of grid panel no calculate how many bricks to cover with height and depth of grid panel. Is getting the Trebuchet working in game difficult? A little bit, yeah. I'm kind of putting that off. So it's gonna have to mean me re kind of making the whole launching system. So at the moment it just takes the pumpkin or the rock, and it's effectively what the code is doing is just flicking it, just like that. Just go boom, and just making it go. So that's fine because it goes from a stationary kind of position, sort of not moving, to moving. With the trebuchet, I need to get it to move with the trebuchet and then apply force to the pumpkin or the rock in a similar fashion that I'm doing currently. So maybe it's kind of stuck to the trebuchet, and when it gets to that point, then run the same code that I've been running. So hopefully that's how it's going to work. But until that point, it needs to kind of like stick to the arm of the trebuchet, and when it reaches that point, unstick it and apply force at the same time. Otherwise the whole trebuchet will go flying. So I need to unstick it. Yeah. So it might not be too difficult, I just need to work that out. But I will get there. But it'd be a similar kind of fashion to... Well, I suppose no, it wouldn't. But maybe if I suppose a lot of just trying to think if there's anything similar in any of the games. Like if you're playing a game and the player throws a rock, for instance. If the player like has a rock in their hands and then they throw the rock, what's likely happening is the player character, the model, is holding a rock. There's an animation of them throwing the rock, and then a rock spawns, like a completely separate rock, spawns and then goes. So I could do a similar thing. I could have two rocks, one rock that's on the trebuchet, and then one rock that appears at the point of the other rock and then goes, simultaneously making the rock that's on the trebuchet invisible. But if I don't do it right, you would see like a stutter or a lag of that rock disappearing and this rock appearing. So that might be a way to do it again. So I just move the spawn point of where it's flying from to the finished, where the animation finishes, fire it from there, but have the same object, like a copy of the object on the trebuchet. When it goes up to here, that disappears, this one flies. So that might be another way of doing it. And I've got to work out the animation for it as well, for the actual movement. So I've got the animator made. I just need to write it so the speed of it is appropriate. So it needs to kind of look realistic as it moves. And then I've got to work out if it needs to change the animation based on the power. So if there's more power, does the trebuchet arm come lower? Less power, the trebuchet arm isn't so low, so it has to start halfway through the animation. So there's all these kind of things I need to think of, but I'll work at it stage by stage. Okay, can I make it animate? Can I just tell it to do the arm movement? And then can I attach a rock or a pumpkin or any other object to it and have it stay there, not throw? And then can I make it throw? But yeah, we're going to get it there. I think once I've got this rumble, it should be rubble. Never mind. Rumble generator will be just as fine. Uh, so I've got values here. I have values. I have the top left, the top right, the bottom left, the bottom right. That's only a square, isn't it? As opposed to a cube. On the XY position are all four corners. So top, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. But I do need to have four more vector frees. Although it doesn't need to be, it's not the height I'm after, is it? It's so that's the minimum x with the maximum y and the maximum z. So I still need the four values. Only need the four values, but I need to change what these values are. Let's give that a save anyway. I could probably make it another script. Now you mentioned the trebuchet. If I make the script for the trebuchet, then I can then apply it. So new script, create script, and we shall call this tree busher controller. Let's go save on that. Load that up, so we now have a trebuchet controller. We shouldn't need the start, but we'll keep these there for now. What we will need is probably a good public void set and the animator position. And that needs to have a float in there. Float pos. And we're going to need public object treb. Save that. Come out of here. Animator or trev rigged. There's a trebuchet code. is that not showing up in here? Interesting. Ah, game object, not a subject. Game object. There we go. There we go. And drag itself into it. Always animate. You have to look up what the code is for that. Don't actually know what it is, but we have the start of it at least. So let's have to go from 0 to 1. Probably need to have a rate in there. Private float. Animation rate equals 0.1. Do that for now. And a private bool fire equals false. Public void public void fire launch rock, and that's going to be fire equals true. Go if fire private float. Animation position equals 0.0f equals plus equals animation right. And then it's set position animation position. It's just this little bit here I need to work out. Virtual animation. And then obviously putting in the object that's been thrown as well. That's the start of it at least. So I need to rethink out the corners work. We're looking out for time. Right, lose castle holder. This cube, isn't it? So duplicate the cube. Move component. And we want to drag in bubble generator. Let's rename that a bubble spawner. Move that over there, that's fine. Let's just run this. Why is that not doing anything there? Start get dimensions, get corners. Probably could do put an actual brick in there, I suppose. So brick holder. There we go, got values in there now. So we can see down here the positioning of the corners. So top left -14 by 4 by 16. Bottom right, the Y and the Z is the same, but the X is that so. So Z is height, isn't it? Let's come out of that. No, Y is the height. So we want all of them to be, all the Y's to be the same, basically, because they should all be on the bottom. Let's run that again. So the bottom left and bottom right is correct. Bought a lot of Slipknot things yesterday, still have to come in the mail. Ooh, that's cool. What kind of things do you get? So the Y's, get dimensions, get corners. That's really the min, isn't it? We want min Y. Min Y. Two shirts and CDs, one shirt for me, rest for Lisa. She really got into it this year, so I wanted to buy her first Slipknot shirt. Put all CDs in and make Slipknot Christmas package. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Sounds like a good package. All the Y's are the same. So left and right. So top left. Top right. Bottom left. Bottom right. So maybe what I might have to do is write a little bit of code that drops a brick in each of the four corners. Let's make a bit of code here. Private void drop brick in corners. Let's have a look where the code for that would be. So was it V3 scale? So width, height and depth was actually calculated here. So that needs to go in there. Now we need to game object there. And that means, so we've got V3 as well. So V3 is that. So V3 is there. So rather than those three, we need top left X, top left Y, top left Z for starters. Then we have everything we need for that bit of code. Cool. And we can put that right at the end here. So drop bricks in corners. So that should drop one brick for now. So we have a brick in that corner. Cool. So top left, it's basically the things the wrong way around. Not that it matters. So we need to copy this 4 times now, or another 3 times. There will be a better way of doing this, but we're testing. So we've got top left, top, right, bottom left, and bottom right. So in theory you should get 4 bricks, drops into all 4 corners. You have, look at that. The cool thing with this is, as before the other one, if I make that wider, and just run the game again, it still puts them in the 4 corners of that, and centrally as well, which is good. So what I want to do with that knowledge then is to tell it to generate bricks within this space, then shrink the space, generate more bricks, shrink the space, generate more bricks, shrink the space, generate more bricks, and kind of go loops and loops. And eventually you should have a pile of stuff. So there should be an easier way of doing this. So rather than just going V3, well, V3 needs to be there anyway. We only need one of these. And v3 has to because x is going to be between the max, the min and the max of x. So this is probably a bit of an overkill, all these values here. It just makes it easier, like, well, I can just go top left and that's that corner. But I'm basically generating an x value that's somewhere between the minimum x and the maximum x. The y value is always going to stay the same. Although, no, the y value will increase actually. For each layer, the y value will increase. Although it doesn't have to, it could be set. It could be the maximum. I could be actually spawning the bricks and then they fall every time and they're building up that way. So I could make that the max. And it's not actually the bottom of the box that I'm working with, it's in fact the top. The result would be the same, but the bricks would just fall. Shrink that box again. So there we go. Bricks are falling slowly, but I'll change the gravity of the bricks. So okay, yeah. So we could say the bricks spawn at the top and they will keep falling. So I'm fine with that. So in which case, y will never change. So I really need a static y, a minimum x, a maximum x, a minimum z, and a maximum z, which will themselves change over time. But we need to know what the upper limit is. So let's go up here. We don't really need the counts, so you can probably kill the count there. That means we don't really need that either. That's fine. Do we need the brick scale? We do need the brick scale. Do we? Oh yeah, the width, height, depth. So we need to know that anyway. So we need to keep that. So that's fine. So we get the dimensions. Well, that's get dimensions is actually just getting the dimensions of the brick. That's just purely about the brick, that bit. This bit's purely about the box. But we only need brick X, bricks Y. No, that's about the box there. Do we use brick X, brick Y and Z? We don't, do we? That was only for placement, so we don't actually need those. It's not used. If we want to determine where things go based on the width of the brick, we would use those, but so we don't actually need any of that, which means we don't need those. Okay, so these are convenient, but don't particularly need them, but we'll keep them there for now. Square count. Square count's not used in this particular thing. Use square count. So what we do use is those four. These are purely debug values at this point. Will be going forward. So what we do need is make them private, but we'll serialize them. Max X private float min X private float max Y max Z, because we don't need a min Y. Private float min Z. If I come rather than dot. Okay. Probably make another function here. Private void get min max so max X max X min X max Y max Z min Z. So min max Y max Z min Z max min max max min, that's a Y, that's a Z, that's a Z. It does mean max X can go instead of that. Max X can go instead of that. Min X can go instead of that. Min X well than that. Max Y. Max Y. Max Y. Max Y. Max Z. Max Z. Min Z. Min Z. And we don't need that in there now. Get min max can go in there. That cleans it up quite nicely. We should have done that before. And we'll just drop that onto the X. They all are debugs now. Because max Y in this instance would be all of the Y's here. Cool. We'll come back to that next week. It's getting quite late now. But yeah, we'll make another set of variables. So I still know what the maxes and the mins were, and then I'll just kind of reduce them by a certain amount each time. But yeah, we'll come back to that next week though. Switch over the camera. Ooh, made some encoding overload. I'll be doing that. Made some kind of progress. But I'll be happy once I've got this rubble generator in place, because that is the entire like end wind condition done then. Like smoke, castle shrinks, like sinks, smoke clears, and there's rubble. The only other thing I need to do after the rubble is just the animation thing, which will go back into Blender 2. Have the hand waving a white flag. And then we can look at gameplay then. And work on the trebuchet, because that's literally anything left then. Which is exciting. Nice. Yeah, so I can focus purely on that. So yeah, finish the rubble, animate the hand waving, then work on the trebuchet, and then that's the entire game mechanic done, and it's just make more levels then. I do need to rewrite the selection of the projectile, the rock, what you're throwing, but that's kind of like a second stage thing. As long as you're throwing a rock, that's the main thing. But if I build it right way, then that works as well. And I'll probably make a demo before I make any more levels. I'll make a demo how it is. Put a link on my Discord to the demo. See what people think, and then if that's all okay and it's working fine, then I'll make more levels and look at sort of testing it properly then. So it's not far away. We'll have it finished before the end of the year. Well, that's what I'm aiming for anyway. Well, thank you all for joining us. It's always fun having you here, whether you've been chatting or lurking. I see there's a few lurkers, and I'm happy for you to be here. Thank you for lurking on here. But yeah, I hope you've had a good Wednesday. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. I am going to get some rest now. No stream on Friday, as I'm having fun as usual. Not sure when my next Friday stream will be, and depending how I'm feeling on Saturday, I might do a stream on Saturday. I don't usually do Saturday streams, but I might do. So keep an eye out. I'll post in my Discord if I'm going to do that. But if not, it will be back on Monday. Have a good week. Thank you, stream. Thank you, Lisa. Hope you enjoy your time off after all your hard work on your schoolwork. Have a good rest of your week. Thank you, Jeffrey. All those cool emotes. Yeah, enjoy your rest. Enjoy your week, and I shall see you all definitely on Monday. If not, maybe a sneaky stream on Saturday night. But I'll be posting in Discord if that happens. So have a good night, and I shall see you there. Good night.